yeah, so everything was smooth sailing, going good, or so you would think, right?
It was Sunday night in Dallas yesterday, and the streets were calling.
About late night calls from Nigeria. I'm about to put that phone on silent.
Some people just don't know the concept of time difference.
We're waiting on an Uber. I glance over to my right, and then I see a notification on his phone from her on Instagram saying, who is this, with my profile. And he turns to me and he goes, I told you I was gonna handle it. Like, you look crazy doing this.
Life is all about lessons, and sometimes they're in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And he was for a reason, so that she could get her coins up and elevate. Like, it's sad it had to happen this way, but you got this, Raven. Do you, girl? Hi guys, it's your girl NyahSkyyy. This video is about SK and Raven from Love is Blind season 3. I'm gonna get into a brief story about them in case you guys have not watched it. Just catch everybody up. Let's all get on the same page, hunty. So in the beginning, it seemed like Raven was going to hook up with Bartise, and then that didn't end up working out, and she started having a thing for SK. It was a moment where Raven had asked Bartise how he felt about her previously being a sugar baby, basically. And he said, you know, he didn't have a problem with it. And then she asked if, basically like asking him if what he would do for her kind of thing. And he was like, well, you know, I'm not broke or anything like that. Like, I'm an accountant, but you know, at the same time, I'm not gonna buy you a house or anything. After that, Raven seemed uninterested. She was doing jumping jacks. So when they showed that SK was being a data engineer, I felt like she was gonna be more into him because he had more money in his pockets. So I basically say all this to say that I felt like Raven was a gold digger, and I did not like her in the beginning. I felt like she was giving me those vibes, let's put it that way. It seemed like they started liking each other. To me, I wasn't sure if it was genuine. I felt like she was just doing it for the cameras. But once it came to the wedding and she was crying and she said that she was gonna say yes and SK actually said no, that shocked me because I thought SK was gonna say yes and Raven was gonna say no. So that kind of threw me off. I was only okay with it because I felt like the way that SK seemed, I thought that they came to an understanding and she was sad about it, but she already knew that it was coming. But then at the reunion, she had made a statement and said that she actually did not know that he was gonna say no. And he admitted, he said that he didn't know until the altar, which Bartise said the same thing, Zenem said the same thing, and I think it's all BS, okay? I'm telling you right now, okay? If I ever got married on a show like that and it was gonna be public like that, I'm pretty sure we have a basic idea of what we're gonna do. So tell me whether you're a yes or a no. And if you're a I don't know, then let me know so I can say no. I feel like that was a whole bunch of no's, but no, okay? Seriously, like, let me know so we're on the same page, so I can be heartbroken about it, whatever, but at least I expected it. Like, don't have me just out here embarrassed, because nah, like, don't do me like that. Raven says that she didn't feel any type of way. She understands his heart and whatever. And then Nick and Vanessa ask her how they're doing, and she gets out, she smiles, she goes across the room and she hugs him. I started liking her and I started rooting for their relationship. So even after the reunion, they started posting videos and pictures of themselves, and I'll insert that. It's just us. You know it's not the same as you. Yeah, so everything was smooth sailing, going good, or so you would think, right? Before we get into that, back to SK. My initial thoughts about him was that I had made a comment to Raven in the pause about his dad. He practiced polygamy, has multiple wives, and you know how she feels about that, but he's not like that. And he doesn't agree with that, and he feels like you should have one wife.
In my country, polygamy is still very much a thing. I don't think we've talked about this yet, but I come from a polygamous family. My dad has more than one wife. As fluid and as not so abnormal as it was for us back then growing up, like I've never really for once ever even thought about like doing that. I believe in equal partnership as opposed to, you know, just gender roles or one person having a particular set role. Just like living through that experience and seeing like, you know, the complexities that come with it, all the logistics that's involved. It's never really something I would even want to wish on someone.
It's already so hard just being in a relationship. Who would want like literally two of them?
Some men actually legitimately desire that.
Yeah.
And some women are okay with that.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah.
But it's just like, for me, it's never really something that I've ever even considered.
That was kind of like a flickering red light to me. This is why I tried to push the initial thought back, because it's an experience that I personally went through myself. My ex always said that he didn't want to be a player like his dad, and because of that, he wanted to make sure that he was a faithful one woman kind of man. It kind of set the tone for how I felt about him in the relationship, because I always thought back to what he said about that, how passionate he felt about it. I know that he didn't talk to his dad for a while, so I was just like, wow, he would never do that to me. And he did that to me with multiple women. I don't know, it's like they can't help but repeat these cycles sometimes. So I didn't want to just have that negative thought and be that negative Nancy. So I was like, girl, Nyah, stop thinking like that, Nyah. He's a nice guy, give him a chance. Then, you know, my friends liked him, so I started liking him because he just seemed like a good guy, and I felt like Raven wasn't giving him a chance. But then again, I have to remember that I'm watching the show and I only see a little clip of what's going on. I really don't see everything, so I don't really know how they are, but it's just how it was coming off on camera, and that's what I was going with. I felt like Raven wasn't initially attracted to him, which I still think, but I think that she ended up growing an attraction for him, and sadly, he shattered that dream. One last thing before I get into it, and then I'm gonna get right into it because we've done enough rambling, honey. I said my initial thought. Now my mom's initial thought with SK was, she was like,
what do you think about SK?
And I was like, oh, I like him. And she was like,
I think he's.
And I was like, what? Like, you're bugging. I was really dismissing that because I just really wasn't seeing that. And if you don't know what it means a little like now, nothing's wrong with that, but if you're on a dating show looking for women, then something's wrong with that. I was just like, I don't know, maybe not. So then she was like,
okay, fine. If he's not gay, then I think he likes white women.
And I was like, well, what would make you get that? Like, I felt like he didn't really give off anything to give that. And even when my mother was saying it, I still didn't think that until I watched another video and they had posted this TikTok. And it's just like, you hear something, then you remember what someone else had said, and then you think back, and then you're like, oh, now I could see that. I couldn't see that before, but now I could see it. So that's one of those things. Let's play the clip.
Feeling like the heart and soul of who they are.
Race is something you can't really hide on the dating apps, and you know, for a lot of us, it kind of like filters away. Like people have certain requirements of who they want to date.
Oh, so he finna date him a white girl. That's what this is. He about to date him a white girl in peace, child.
And the race, the looks, your job, your status, all of that comes on top of that.
Yep, he about to date him a white girl in peace. He tired of having to explain himself. He want to say, I fell in love with her personality. SK is giving me weird vibes. Not loving the way SK is talking and his maneuvers. Oh yeah, look at the way he threw that ankle over.
Nigerians are cool. Two of my best girlfriends growing up actually were Nigerian.
Oh wow, okay. Something that want in a woman is someone who is educated,
white,
not completely ignorant.
White,
Africa is a country.
White.
Someone once asked me if we had like a lion as a pet before. Like they're just roaming around in your backyard.
Well, that's what you get for dating white girls. I mean, and I just know that that's what he date. I just feel it in my soul. I feel it.
So now, like I promised, we're getting into that piping hot tea. Yes, honey. Yes, we are. He is into white girls apparently because girl had came out on TikTok insinuating a Love is Blind situation with the, you know, the game where you hold your fingers up and then you put a finger down for if you've done something, and it was basically only tailored to her. It was like big hints. She met someone off of Hinge that was on Love is Blind that was engaged. And here's the video.
Put a finger down if you went on a date in April with a guy from Hinge and then you see that he's actually on the show Love is Blind and that he met you after the show was filmed but is still with the same girl right now.
So this happened a couple of days ago. I didn't know about any of this until the video I'm going to show you a little later happened. Then I started doing some digging and I found out that this had came out a few days ago. And then she posted another video of their date showing that they went on a date around that time that he was with Raven supposedly. But she ended up deleting it so people weren't sure. So apparently she had deleted her video, so people weren't really sure about if it was credible or not. Raven was sending cryptic messages on like Instagram and TikTok. If I can find them, I will, but she deleted them, so I really don't know if I'll be able to find them.
Y'all better come up here and get one of these.
What's that?
It's a chicken salad.
People were trying to figure out if she was subbing SK, but she still had their pictures and stuff up, so everything was good. Until today. Hence the reason why I'm in my pajamas. Let me show you my pajamas real quick. It is 12:35. I was going to film this video tomorrow, but realistically if I filmed this video tomorrow, then I probably wouldn't edit it until the next day, and like I want this to come out as soon as possible. I had to spill this piping hot tea at 12:35 in my motherfucking puppy pajamas. You got a problem? Since we don't got no problems. Like I was saying, they were trying to figure out what was going on with Raven until she deleted her pictures today. Now that leads into the next video. Then this new girl comes out on TikTok, does a similar thing where she insinuates that she dated someone on Love is Blind. Someone wrote in the comments like, oh, I hope you're not talking about SK. Something had already came out about him, and people were like, oh, what? And that's what made me dig further, and I found out the other information. But yeah, so then everybody was curious, but she deleted it. But then she reposted the video. not only did she repost the video, honey, she came back with piping hot receipts. She was like, oh, I already know that you're gonna be like,
oh, but how do I know that this is when it happened?
boom, she posted dates.
Oh, well, how do I know that you are really going here?
Boom, she posted pictures, she posted videos, she posted even pictures of shirts, okay? Like, sis got detailed. Enough with the rambling. Let's get into it.
Offspin bringing smoke.
Now, my friend had messaged me that video earlier, and I was shooketh. Like, I was shooketh because I wanted him to be a good guy. Like, even though I had that, like, I can spot a liar sometimes, and I can spot the, like, game and peep the game. I don't be wanting to see it. So it's like, when I'm able to see the good in the guy, I want to see the good in the guy. I don't want him to be the bad guy that I thought he probably was. I don't want that. I want to feel like there's good men out there, and there are good men out there. But then it's like, when stuff like this happens, it's like, dang, you didn't just hurt her heart, you hurt our hearts. We wanted that love. So then I went even deeper, and I wanted to know what else was going on. I was just searching, because at this point, I know I was making this video, and I wanted as much information as possible to give to y'all, because this is new information. So this is new stuff that other people don't have yet. So I gotta hurry up and I gotta put it out there. So she ended up doing this live video with this girl on TikTok, and I actually screenshotted some of it, so I got it here for you guys. And she was just answering some questions and letting people know why she did what she did. Some of the things that she said in the video, I'm just going to talk about it briefly, and then I'm going to show the clips like I've been doing this whole time. I got y'all.
You did not find out they were serious until what time?
A few days ago.
Okay, y'all, because y'all getting this in these comments talking about, well, she knew the fiance. No, he had told her and confused her and said that it was a fake show for money. Now, I want y'all to clarify that.
Yeah.
She did not know till this past week that they was together for real.
So supposedly in that clip, she was saying that he was coming back into her life. He wanted to get back together. And she was saying, well, if you want to get back with me, you're going to have to propose to me. And she didn't think he would seriously say yes, but he ended up saying, yeah, like, I'll propose to you. I want this to work.
Did you and SK ever discuss marriage?
Mm-hmm.
You guys did discuss marriage.
Europe and Cabo.
Recently, right? He said that, you know, you gave him kind of like an ultimatum, and he said he was going to like propose, right?
Yep. Like our last night in Cabo, I said, you know, we haven't talked about everything, but like, I'm willing to leave everything in the past, but like, if it's not me, you need to just like, let me go. But like, you know, if we're going to do this for real, I'm down, you know, because I love you. But there needs to be a proposal. Like, and he was like, yeah, like, he was very adamant about it. He was like, yes, like, of course, like, you know, let's do it. Like, I'm down.
So they were asking her, you know, she met family and friends, because obviously if the mom just met Raven, did she meet this girl too? Like, we need answers. She says, you know, she met the brother a few times, she met his extended family, but she never met the mom, but she did speak to her on the phone before.
Yeah, so his little brother, I've been around him several times over the past few years. I've met his extended family, like cousins and brothers, like in Atlanta and the UK. And then just all his friends. We'd have like these cookouts in the summertime, and like my friends would come. We'd have like Halloween parties, and I still have like videos from that too. So yeah, like I met a bunch of his family members, and only spoke to his mom on the phone a few times because she was in Chicago. So yeah, just to clear that up.
Also, they really detailed what the timestamps were, which is why I haven't really been talking about it, because I don't want to mess it up and jumble it up. See, I just messed that up. So I'm just going to let them say it. Here we go.
Y'all started dating in 2019, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you said you broke up in the beginning of 2021 or 2020? 2020. So, and during that time, y'all kind of stayed in contact and were still friendly, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so the show filmed, y'all, I want y'all to remember this. The show filmed around April to June 2021 last year. We know this because Zena posted on her, like when she did the whole fake apology, she posted that their weddings were filmed 2 weeks, 2 separate weeks, like 2 weeks apart. So that's, I want y'all to clear.
Also, we also know that because if you're a creeper like me, on Alexa and Brennan's prenup, it was dated for June 30th of 2021. And we know that Bartiz was on that boat July 4th, right after the wedding.
So the dates are adding up now. So after June 2021, when was Europe? Because I want people to clarify when Europe was.
So late
August, y'all.
Yeah, late July, early August.
So y'all, just want y'all to know that it was June 2021 when the show stopped. Then in August of 2021, there was a Europe trip, y'all. So at that point, we don't know what was going on. Next, okay, so the Cabo trip was in May of 2022, correct? Okay, so during that time. So between August and May, were y'all still casually dating, or was it like, hey, you know, you good, I'm good too? Or was it just like no communication?
We communicated, but like he was going to school, so like we just kind of distanced, you know, apart, and then we didn't really start picking back up our conversations till that next spring.
Also, they asked her why she did this in the first place, like if she expected something out of it. Did she want approval from SK or an apology from SK? And she said that she just did it because she's sick of men getting away with it, and if Raven didn't know, she would want her to know.
You know, since everything's come out, I feel so at peace. I feel empowered to share my story, to help women, and to just make this about, you know, like stop tolerating BS from men. You know what I'm saying? Like, we accept it so much in society as women. We get the short end of the stick. We get, you know, heartbroken, and we just have to kind of like heal and move on while he gets to go, you know, unscathed. And it's like, no. Like, normally I would leave this alone, leave a man alone. If he, you know, I'd be like, okay, whatever, his loss, like moving on. That's the kind of girl I am. But I was like, there's a bigger message here and I need to share it. So other women can feel empowered, you know, to do that in their own personal lives, so.
I did see some comments where people were like, well, why didn't she just message Raven? And I agree but disagree, because coming from someone who has messaged women and has been the woman messaged as well, I just would like everything to be out on the table. Like, just let me know. Like, I've had girls warn me that the guy I was dealing with was messy, and I still dealt with him because I wanted to believe him. Let's not act like we haven't all been there. Like, I feel like sometimes when people watch this show, they act like
couldn't be me. Could not be me.
I think that was you. Like, last year, 2 years ago? Why you fronting like that wasn't you? Why you fronting like that's still not you? Like, seriously, I'm not like that. Like, I will admit, I was that girl, bro. I was not believing it and ended up going into a motherfucking whirlwind with this guy, dated him, and then he ended up ghosting me and leaving me for his ex. And then it's like, okay,
oh my god, how I was hurt.
But at the same time, I knew what I got myself into. In the beginning, these girls told me. I just wanted to believe him instead of these random girls. But it's like, they be random, but they be telling the truth. Like, what other point would they have to come out and say this stuff if they weren't telling the truth? But you don't be thinking about it like that. I agree with her. Like, you'll try and let a girl know, but the shui in that air from that guy is gonna have a little foggy brain. So airing it out kind of doesn't allow you to feel like that, because you have other people like, yo sis, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, no. And now you have other girls coming out. It's not just one, it's 2 girls now. So at this point, it's like, can't really believe what you gotta say. Like, it's out there kind of thing. So like I said, earlier in the day when I looked at Raven's Instagram, she still had stuff of them up on there. Then later, she did not. It was deleted. Sis was like, fuck out of here. I'm a bad bitch. Don't play with me. Even if the girl was lying and she just wanted clout, I actually still agree with her, because I still agree with that message. Like, guys need to be put out there for their nonsense. Like, I can't just let you get away with it. People gotta know who you are, because, you know, SK was the most likable person on there, especially guy, because the guys on there were kind of like duds. And I'm not even really gonna get into it because the video is not about him, but I could not stand Bartiz. I thought he was a jerk. I felt like he was a narcissist, tried to break Nancy down. Like I said, this is not about him, so focus, Nyah. Even with that being said, I feel bad that I was so mad at him now, because at least he was himself. Like, at least, even though he kind of pretended to Nancy, it's like he couldn't pretend so much to the cameras, like that he was just a front, okay? But with SK, he just, well, to everyone, just came off sweet and nice, and like, that's a narcissist. Like, and that's a really scary guy to be with. Like, you think he's so great and so perfect, to find out that he's messing and canoodling with these other women. Like, it's really hurtful. Can y'all tell that I've been there before? I'm actually happy that SK got aired out. It's sad that it had to be public, because if any of my relations were public, I'd probably die. But at the same time, it'll help me move on. He ain't the one. I just had to get this out there. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other videos that you guys would like to see me do. If you would like for me to do some other reviews on other shows, hopefully I would prefer for it to be like a dating show like this. Like, I don't want to just do any show, and I'm not gonna pretend like I'm going to. So let's try and work with each other here. Yeah, what do you guys think about SK? Do you think that he's deceiving? Are you guys still on SK's side? What do you think about Raven deleting her pictures and videos off of Instagram? One thing I actually do want to say about Raven is that I think that she'll be okay. I think she may be a little bit sad. Like I said, I think she was doing it for clout initially, but if she wasn't, I know he paid some of her bills in the process. I ain't mad at that. And then she also, I know she does Pilates. I know she had a lot of side hustles, which I'm probably assuming was to fund her Pilates business and to mainly be Pilates, because it seems like that's what she's truly passionate about. So I've noticed on her Instagram and YouTube, that's like all she really talks, not all talks about, but like you could tell that's very important to her on there, and she's very focused with that. So I think that business is gonna flourish to where she doesn't need to do her side gigs, and especially with SK doing her dirty, I think that's gonna help her followers as well. And I think she'll be fine without him, okay? Life is all about lessons, and sometimes they're in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And he was for a reason, so that she could get her coins up and elevate. Like, it's sad it had to happen this way, but You got this, Raven. Do you, girl. It's your girl, NyahSkyyy. I'm out.
But there's something about the half of the internet calling you a liar when our impression is based on an edited version of someone we do not know, and you have traveled with this man and you have spent years on and off with this man. So I think that folks just got to put in perspective that, like, we are viewers watching something and this is someone sharing their real life.